How you doing, YouTube family? Today is Tuesday, April the 8th, 2025. It's your man Big D, and I'm back with another one. Want to thank all you good folk out there in YouTube land for continuing to rock out with my son and I. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Well, family, back with another one. This one is real eerie, real chilling. When I was speaking on in one of my videos regarding domestic violence, and I said it doesn't matter if the man is a rich man, if he's a middle of the way guy, he's a pookie. You just don't know who has the capability of being, what I'm saying, just being an abuser. You just don't know. So but this one right here, family, is this one is crazy. Get it.
White man convicted for fatally shooting his black wife. Murder trial of Jordan McCoy Hemming, a former U.S. Army service member accused of fatally shooting his wife, 32-year-old Ashley Henning, at her birthday party, ended with a manslaughter conviction, triggering an emotional outcry from the victim's family members in court. A Kentucky jury found Henning guilty of first-degree felony manslaughter for the shooting death of his wife, Jordan. Shot his wife multiple times during a birthday party at the couple's home, June 26, 2023, the News Enterprise reported. Witnesses now told investigators that right before the shooting, they started leaving the party because the couple began to argue. Neighbors even removed the Hennings' children from the home as the fight intensified. Multiple surveillance cameras from inside the home caught the fatal encounter.
Wow. So my question is this: why didn't one of those neighbors, if you thought that situation volatile enough to get the children out of the house, why not be on the phone calling 911 while you on the way out? Yeah, you know what? When they kiss and make up, they might say, "Oh, you the nosy neighbor. You should have never called the cops," because that's what usually happens. They kiss and make up, and then now they mad at you for you trying to prevent this from happening. Man, this is sad. And this guy, he looked like your average little crazy looking little white dude. And but he was in the military. But man, look at this though.
So you mean, how long does that happen where the murder's actually caught? They actually can see exactly what went down here. Hmm. Multiple surveillance cameras inside that home. One camera recorded Jordan appearing in rage when he grabbed his handgun, went behind a living room wall, and started shooting. Footage also showed him reloading his firearm once between shots, then spitting on Ashley's corpse when he was finished.
What? Man, that is some nasty ass, felonious, nefarious, diabolical work. So you trying to tell me this crazy ass white boy gon' he gonna get to the point where he gets so in his emotions and he feels so emasculated that he gotta do this? So, my good sir, it's already, what I'm saying, you already got one of our ladies, one of our queens, one of our sisters, and fellas, hey, you got those that want to divest and all this stuff. They want to divestors, the divestors, the chicks that want to go date white dudes, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, it's like this. You go where you are celebrated and not where you tolerate it. Go where you are celebrated and don't stay where you are only tolerated. So I understand, but sisters, you divestors, as y'all like to call yourselves, and you better take a good look. You better look at this, pay close attention, because not only will they unalive you, they'll reload and start all over again. And while you already pretty much gone, they spit on you because they have no respect for you. And I don't understand how in the world did this just manifest itself. It ain't nowhere in the world that you can't tell me that this white dude wasn't exhibiting this crazy ass behavior all during the relationship. But see, this sister, I don't know what it was about him that made her stay. I don't know. I don't know what it could have been, but I just don't believe that on this night in question, out the blue, he gets so angry that he grabbed a gun and go this. Nah, this ain't no. No, this little Chad right here. No, he's an abuser. This ain't his first time.
Prosecutors say he shot Ashley 5 times. Now, you said manslaughter, right? He reloaded. It's on camera. And he fled the home. Oh, he fled too,
Hmm,
which is an indication. Fled the home before authorities arrived, but they found him a mile away, making numerous utterances, apologizing for hurting his wife.
hmm,
The arrest
hmm.
citation read he was charged with murder, domestic violence, a Class A felony in Kentucky. Now, during the trial, defense attorney said Jordan's actions were the result of a mental breakdown triggered by years of physical and verbal abuse committed by Ashley. Prosecutors dispute.
Whoa, family! I didn't see that coming, man. So them white folks done flipped the script on the black girl, on the victim. Man, so now what sounds to me like they trying to damn further victimize the victim. They trying to say this sister brought this on herself. Oh my land, this is crazy.
The claim, as well as friends of Ashley, who testified that Jordan was a paranoid prepper who had a hit list in the event of an apocalypse. Prosecutors argued that all the evidence proving Jordan committed the crime with purpose and intent is too strong to deny. If what you saw in that video is not evil and malicious, I don't know what is. Assistant Commonwealth Attorney Eric Carr said, "This is one of the most cold blooded acts of violence possible." So it's set up for the jury now. Let's see. They got the whole thing. Must have been pretty traumatic to watch this, right? They saw it. After 4 hours of deliberating, the jury returned their verdict declaring Henny guilty of manslaughter,
What?
recommending a 20-year prison sentence.
That's it?
Had Henny been convicted of murder, he could have faced between 20 and 50 years or life in prison. His sentencing date has not yet been set.
Wow.
After the jury read off their verdict, Ashley's cousin, U.S. Marine Chief Warrant Officer John Williams, directly addressed jury members, calling them cowards. And this is the justice that America gives me? Unspeakable, unthinkable. It's disgusting, Williams said with tears in his eyes. Every single one of you is coward.
Wow, man. So this sound like this young sister was it sound like she might probably was a somebody because for her cousin to be a chief warrant officer, man, in the Corps, listen. So it sounded to me like this girl came from good stock, but the question is, where did she deviate to this crazy ass white dude talking about being a prepper? Man, listen, them white guys who think like that, who prepping for the apocalypse, man, they have their own way of thinking, and to be with them, you got to kind of align with that crazy ass thinking. So, did he convert her to his mindset? I mean, it's just more to this that I would need more context so I could peel back the layers and say, damn, how did we get here? How did she even, I mean, how did they even get to the point where they was dating and got married and had kids together?
I don't blame this ranking warrant officer, Marine Chief warrant officer. It is sick. These are the details. The case has been adjudicated, and yet a service member, compliant. I mean, you don't get to be in that position unless you accept even things you don't agree with. Can't take it anymore and has an outburst. Somebody needed to say it. We don't know the makeup of this jury, Tehran, so it's an unfair question, but I ultimately believe that this woman of color, this black woman's life was not as valuable. What say you?
I say, first of all, my condolences to the family of Ashley Jennings. Uh, we thank her for her service and may she rest in peace. In this particular case, there are two different components that we should play. Of course, there's this idea that the white aggressor got way less time than a black male aggressor would have. And that clearly plays because we see this. However, there's also a gender component in which
Mm,
a lot of times the number one assailant of women are not strangers hiding in hallways and alleyways. It's their husband.
thank you.
And the fact that this is a manslaughter charge when clearly it's
That's true, family. Most women are accosted or acts of violence are committed on women by perpetrators that they know. So it ain't like, some woman walking in Walmart, walk out and then she getting accosted or she getting, battered and whatnot. Man, listen, 90% of the time, it be somebody they know, husband, boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, baby daddy. They have some type of relationship with the person.
murder. And the fact that the defendant had said he harbored hatred in his heart for his wife makes it premeditated. The idea that only 20 years for such a heinous crime, especially when this is supposed to be your partner, someone you trust and allow in your home, that's actually the ludicrous component to this case. The manslaughter jury definition, I actually think, with my legal background, was actually correct based on the way the current laws are set up. They are set up so that we look at these crimes of quote unquote passion and give them a pass when the truth is they are even more heinous than murders that are committed outside of the home so many oftentimes. This man reloaded his gun. He spit on the corpse. This was fury. This
Mm.
was anger. This was something that cannot be taken away. And by the way, Ashley is dead forever. And this man will be eligible for parole in approximately 15 years. And given the condition and his skin tone, which once again comes back to a racial component, he will most likely be allotted that and be back in society to do this to another unsuspecting wife that he harbors hatred for in his heart.
Wow, you made some important
Wow.
points there with the gender and the race. And I'm particularly taken by the gender in these relationships and even the notion, the labeling of something as domestic violence. So if he was a stranger and killed this woman, reloaded, and then fled the scene, that's somehow different. Thank you. I want to thank you for giving that additional perspective to this because it's just horrid. And like you said, she's gone forever and he's going away with hope for a future. He'll have a future.
Possibly, he possibly would be get out, let out. And let's also go back to that racial component. If this was a black male husband who did this to their poor innocent white wife, would the jury have been as compassionate? Would the judge have been as lenient? And would the prosecutor have been as informal with their charges as we saw predicated upon this? These are things that we should be all asking ourselves.
Family, at the end of the day, there's two type of criminal justice systems. Is one for white folks that perhaps have money, and is the other one for the rest of us that, what I'm saying, hey, we don't have no money for a high price attorney. All we got, all they got for you is a public defender. Eh, you know, so knowing that, he's right. I mean, absolutely. Had this been a black husband who had did this same act to his white wife, man, listen, he man, who knows how many life sentences they would have given him. The judge, trust and believe me, the same way the judge can be lenient, he can be harsh too. So it goes both ways.
Quality for all. That means good and bad.
America, you got some work to do, not just in Kentucky.
But
This is in
especially in Kentucky.
but especially in Kentucky.
Especially in
Especially in
Kentucky.
Kentucky. Okay. And Louisiana and Mississippi. White man can
Family, I don't understand. It's just a lot of components to this one that has me kind of baffled because, you know, the brother had made a statement where he said he wanted to thank her for her service. So that tells me that she was a service member. So maybe they met in the military, and that's the connection. That's where they got married. And hey, could be that the white dude just always because I don't to my understanding, the people that are preppers, man, I think they're kind of like raised like that. That's kind of like something that their family kind of they see that and when they're coming up. So even though he went to the military, went through basic, went through his MOS training, and then he did his time in the military, don't mean that he still didn't have the roots of, hey man, one day this crap gonna go to hell, and I need to be prepared. I mean, I get it, man. That's what doomsday preppers are. They just preparing for what they believe to be the inevitable, and who knows, they may be correct. But in this one, man, nah, man, I can't agree with this one. The fact that the fact that he was married to her, they gave and the fact that he was white, the judge allowed leniency for them to use the domestic violence, the crime of passion, or when it involves somebody who our wife or significant other, with feelings being involved, that could uh that could make the crime that more harsh in nature, more passionate in nature. So you might go above and beyond, like, shooting your wife, you know, a couple times, then spitting on a dead corpse. But at the end of it, we got to understand, yeah, you know, they he gonna get a break. They gonna claim PTSD. They gonna claim military service. They trying to say that that she caused this. That I don't know if she was the angry wife. I don't know. It's just too much missing, and I can't even speak on that aspect of it. But I'll say this: given the circumstances and how he did what he did, basically execution style, oh his ass, oh his ass should be sitting in somebody prison for the rest of his days. But what say you, family? Love to hear your thoughts. Well, family, always remember, be more tomorrow than you were yesterday. Peace.